Gentle, gentle.
Oh, do you see all the blood that's coming out?
Do you see the blood? One of the ways she's able to do this is her jawbone isn't attached to her head the way our jawbone is. She actually has free floating jawbones. They're separated right here in the middle, so there's a split right here. And she can actually move those jawbones independently, and they aren't floating, so they just float around in there, so she's able to just stretch.
You gotta look for the screen.
No, just be careful with the flash.
No? Okay, we'll go back to the other one then.
Oh my gosh. She's still getting used to eating with an audience. Typically with captive snakes, when I'm feeding them, I give them the food and then I give them privacy. But she's been doing really, really good. So we've been branching into doing public feedings. Now you can see her eyes are actually quite dull at the moment. She's getting very, very close to shedding.
I can take a...
So I wasn't 100% sure if she was actually going to eat today, because sometimes when they get close to shedding, they will go off of food for a week or two because they're uncomfortable and they're fidgety and they're anxious. But Sabrina's a really, really good feeder. She's always been a good feeder. So there she goes.
Was the mouse alive?
No, I use frozen thawed mice, so they are previously humanely euthanized. It's a lot more humane for the mouse, it's a lot safer for the snake, it's a lot cheaper and easier for me. And since I am responsible for her, and she eats other animals, that means that I'm also responsible for the animals that she eats. So I have to make sure that those animals are treated just as well as my animals are treated. So that is why I do frozen thawed. And it's a little over thawed. You can see it's a little juicy. Oh, it's gross.
It's okay. Just don't have your kids.
How often does she eat? She eats once a week. And I use the plate to keep the substrate from getting in her mouth and to keep the juice and blood and germs out of the substrate. So this keeps her enclosure a bit cleaner.
Wow, that's
Oh my god. It's okay, get down. Here, let somebody else eat it.
Like, I want to see it. I want to see him suck the tail. Ew, he's
And
gonna...
when you're selecting a food item, the point is to choose something that's about 1.5 times the size of
See
the
how
snake at
fat
the
that
widest point.
snake is?
So you do want something a little bit wider than their belly, just so they're able to actually get filled up.
Can you see?
He's like, look at all this stuff.
Surprisingly enough, having her mouth smell a little bit like fish from thawing with Bitey's fish has not deterred her in any way, shape, or
I'm
form.
going.
She is an excellent feeder.
Which makes her a good exhibit
Yes,
animal.
yes, exactly. And since she is older and she's been with people her whole life, she's really, really good with people, and she's very social. She doesn't like to be left alone for too long, so she does like coming out, and if I leave her alone for too long, she does get grumpy. So this way, working here with me, I'm able to spend a lot of time with her, and she's able to spend time with people, which she really likes. And if she's not out often enough, she'll actually start to rub her nose against the glass, and she'll try and get out. And she, yeah. And when they do this, they can actually rub their noses raw. Yeah. Or what some snakes can do, since they are able to reach the top of their cage, if you're not careful and you're using too hot of a lamp, they can actually start rubbing their nose up against there, and they can actually burn their noses, which is very common, especially for snakes who aren't taken out often enough, or who don't have a large enough enclosure. Or have too hot of a bulb, because the bulb is not particularly important. What's most important is her heat pad, because the heat pad is going to provide heat to her belly, which is what she needs to digest her food. She doesn't need a basking light. She has a heat lamp just to keep her whole enclosure a little warmer, and then she has a light just for lighting her enclosure. But what the important source of heat is that belly heat right there. So if you have to pick between a lamp and a pad for a snake, always go with the heat pad, because that's gonna heat the area that actually needs to be heated. You see she's gonna move back and forth to get it moving down. And you might, if we're lucky, we might even see her yawn. Sometimes after she eats, she'll open her mouth really, really wide, and you can actually see her readjust her little jaw bones, and they'll move independently. and she'll go and she'll readjust them, and it's really cool to see them moving like that. That was a juicy one.
Oh my.
Wow,
Pretty cool.
that was cool. What'd you think of that? Do you want to go check out the chair, the gyro chair,